Schoology tips and tricks. Tip number 6, linking courses. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the time-saving advantages of linking your courses in Schoology, but also a few words of caution just to keep in mind if you do consider linking your courses. So what is linking courses? Linking courses is when you have more than one section of the same course. For example, if you teach 3 sections of Spanish 1, 3 individual sections will be created in Schoology for you, and they're separate. And I would have to add materials to this section, and then I would have to add materials to this section, then I would have to add materials to this section. By linking your courses, when you add materials to one section, it adds them to all of the sections for all of your students. So it can be a huge time saver if you're creating unit folders and unit assessments. It creates it for all 2 or 3 or 4 sections that you have linked together, which is awesome. Words of caution though, if those sections are high school sections and they meet on 2 different cycle days. So for example, you have a Spanish one that meets on a green day and 2 Spanish ones that meet on the white day, you may not want to link those courses because there is a way that we're going to look at in another video to individually assign due dates for each of your different sections in a linked course. But that is an extra step you would have to do for everything with a due date so that your students who meet on white days have different due dates than students who meet on green days. If that's not important to you and you want to link them anyway, great. Just a word of caution. The other really big word of caution is that once you link your courses, you cannot unlink them without losing everything. So once the school year has started, if you link your courses, please don't decide partway through the marking period or partway through the semester or at any point, don't decide to unlink your courses because you're going to lose everything for the sister course, for example. So if these were 2 things that were the same and I link this Microsoft and Schoology course to the CHS Wellness Challenge, and I've been posting everything in here and I decide, oh, I'm going to unlink that. The sister course, Microsoft and Schoology accessibility tools, is going to lose everything the moment that I unlink them. Every bit of student data, every assessment they've taken, every assignment they have submitted will be gone. Every folder will be gone. Everything. It will be a complete blank slate for this poor little guy over here if you decide to unlink them. So it is important to decide, am I going to link these courses? Because once you do, you need to leave it for the whole school year and don't unlink them. You will lose everything for kind of the sister course to the original course. But all that being said, let's look at how we do this. So when you're in your course dashboard, you're going to come up here to courses and over to my courses. Now that you're in your list of my courses, you will see everything that has populated over from PowerSchool, but also any courses that you made for yourself. So a sandbox course, maybe you have an extracurricular that you have made. I have my 2025 trip group here. Anyway, you will be able to see the courses that you can link together because you'll see the title from PowerSchool and the different sections listed underneath it. You can only link sections that are under the same title. So if we go back to our Spanish 1 example, and I have Spanish 1 here as the name of my course, and I have sections 1, 2, and 3, I can link those sections. However, if they have a different name coming from PowerSchool, they cannot be linked. For example, in the World Language Department, German 4 and 5 have been combined now for a couple of years. Those come over, though, as German 4 for those students and German 5 for the other students. Those 2 courses cannot be linked because they have different titles that come from PowerSchool and then drop into Schoology. So that's unfortunate. They have to fall together right here under the same course title. But then it's really easy. So I see section 1, I see section 3 of my sandbox, and on the gear, I hit link existing section, and I can see that I can link section 3 to section 1, and I hit next. It will ask you, even if you're doing this at the beginning of the school year, so you have no grades, it is going to ask you to export your grades so those are saved. So I'm just going to hit a standard CSV, which is an Excel spreadsheet, download and next. This is letting me know that all of my materials from section 1 will not be copied into section 3, but once this has been done, everything will be shared. Okay, so if I had anything in a section already, it's not going to copy over. So you want to do this linking as soon as you get your live courses for Schoology. Link them before you start adding any materials, because materials will not copy that were already there. Do this linking before you put anything in there. But grade setup copies, once you start adding materials, those are going to copy once these are linked. Your course profile, all of those things will be linked. Member enrollments will still belong to their separate section. So it's not going to make just like one long list of students. There's still going to be separate students. So I'm going to hit link sections. And now I see this section 3, section 1. And when I open that up, my sandbox here is empty because it's like a new course. But some things to know about a linked course: when I come over to my grade book, now I have a drop down for section 3 and I have a section 1. And there are all the people that I had in my section 1. And you do have to toggle between things when you have linked sections. So just one extra thing. But again, anything that I post in materials here goes to all of my students in all of my link sections. So this can be a real time saver in the long run if you have multiple sections of the same